You know, when people do a Mark Wahlberg impression, they kind of get high, yeah, and it's everything sounds like that. You know, I can't do a really good Mark Wahlberg impression, but you know who does a good Mark Wahlberg impression? Mark Wahlberg in this movie. What's happening, film friends? Dave the Film Junkie here, bringing you a film review of Uncharted. Uncharted, of course, stars Mr. Tom Holland, Mark Wahlberg, and Antonio Banderas. Of course, is the antagonist. This is directed by Ruben Fleischer. Did like Zombieland and those movies right there. And right off the bat, when it comes to this review, I can't compare it to the video game because I never played it. Never was. I don't know. I've heard about it, seen it, and then of course a lot of people are complaining. I mean, obviously it's supposed to be like the main character that Tom Holland plays, Nathan Drake. It's supposed to be like his origin story kind of thing, which it very much is, because that's what we start off with. We see this young kid. We see a little flashback of something that happens with his brother, and then we of course come up. I do like the fact that when it comes to certain movies, when it kind of jumps, it's got to grab you. It's got to grab you. And what this movie really, the strength of this movie, and I think what people can entertain the most about, is the action sequences, because they can get pretty crazy. I mean, specifically this plane cargo thing that gets a little, I mean, obviously you got to suspend disbelief. Yes, of course, it's a video game movie. Let's relax. But I'm just saying, like, that's where the movie shines when it comes to stuff like this. And I think even with Tom Holland, being a bit of a, I mean, he's Spider-Man, and he does a lot of the flippies that he does with there. I mean, he's very much like almost like a gymnast. I mean, I think he's taken dance, right? Didn't he play like a little kid who was like dancing or something like that? I'm trying to remember what that movie was called. But I mean, you can tell that Tom Holland is actually doing a lot of this stuff. So yeah, that's where, when it comes to Uncharted, that's where this movie really shines. The entertainment value definitely is there when it comes to that stuff. When it comes to the sequences like that, parkour kind of stuff as well. Where what kind of takes away from a little bit, the fucking editing sometimes. Jesus! Sometimes, yeah, the editing just, whoa, okay. Camera work's not always the greatest. Yeah, I mean, when you saw my first reaction review, I mean, I just... What again, if Tom Holland really wants to do something or be like a leading man that's not Spider-Man, I mean, just somebody cast him. Guy Ritchie maybe needs to cast him in a movie where he's got his natural accent, and he's just him. When he's too busy trying to disguise that accent and do like a different, like a Brooklyn-y accent, and trying to bring his voice down a little bit too, because like I said, he's always had that high voice. Because there's times in these sequences too, these action sequences, where you hear the Peter Parker come out, so it kind of just makes you go, okay, yeah. But he really tries to, when he's talking, he like brings it down a man, and it kind of throws you off. I don't know. It's just sometimes it just got a little wonky, but it's just something that I was thinking about. But I mean, man, I tell you what though, this dialogue, when it comes to these kinds of movies, I love treasure hunt type movies where you're trying to figure out shit, but everything just felt a little too easy and just generic. Like, it just felt like, oh, this could easily be a National Treasure. This could be National Treasure 3. I mean, I know they're supposed to be doing a series about that, but I mean, it's just, but when it came to National Treasure in those movies, it felt like things were a little, I don't know, just to figure out things was a little bit crazier. With this, it was, I don't know, some things just kind of felt like, all right, I guess I could accept that. But I mean, I really did find myself kind of bored in between like the action sequences, and then things would just end. And Mark Wahlberg, like I said, he's just kind of phoning in. He didn't think that it just didn't feel, there's chemistry which just wasn't fully there. Maybe at times it felt like it was, but it just felt like he was just there for a paycheck, to be honest. And I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Again, I can't compare it to the game and the characters in the game. I know some people were complaining that they don't look like the characters in the game. I know Sully, specifically he's supposed to be like having a mustache, and I guess that wasn't there, but maybe there was like a post-credit scene I didn't stay for that they kind of made fun of that because it was in the trailer, and Sony definitely likes to show shit in their trailers, and I think they showed that in the trailer where he does have a mustache and they make fun of him for it. And it's like, yeah, well, Mark Wahlberg doesn't look good with a mustache, so I can understand why the character didn't. But I mean, Antonio Banderas, though, I mean, I thought he was a good antagonist. I thought he was, he's got the Antonio Banderas cadence, that deep voice and, with the accent and stuff like that. I thought that was great. But then, they have this other antagonist too, which was just kind of like, all right, she seems almost superhuman. Is she? I don't know. There's a lot of things. And then, of course, there's some twists and turns that were kind of cool. It's not a terrible movie. I'm not like shitting on the movie. It's just, there's just a lot of things that, I mean, it could have potentially been something pretty good if it had two different lead actors, I guess. Kind of what I'm getting at. And if somebody punched up the dialogue, I don't know. I think it's just, I'm a big fan of dialogue, and maybe, I don't know, maybe just, I don't know what else to even say about this. It just didn't feel unique. Like, try to make something unique with something like this, because we've seen these movies thousands of times, these treasure hunt type movies, and it just doesn't feel like, this just feels like it was just going by the beats that you're supposed to go with, and it just, I don't know, for it being like a video game adaptation, it's like, try to make it a little unique and try to capture, I don't know if it did capture the game, maybe it did, and I just don't know what I'm talking about. But there you go, guys. That is my review of Uncharted right here. So let me know your thoughts about it down below. If you, what do you thought about it? Hit that like, thumbs up if you'd be so kind. Subscribe to my channel. Make sure you hit the join button, notification button, all that stuff. Do that. We got the Patreon right up there if you want to support the channel. I got some exclusive stuff on there. And then, of course, the Film Junkie Closet down below. All right, guys. Talk to you later.